friends, how are you? Welcome back to my channel, and in today's episode of Dramione fanfiction recommendation, we are going to do something a little bit different. We are going to talk about what to read after Manacled by senlinyu. You may be asking, how the hell did she come up with this video idea? Well, let me just explain. Lately, I have received an alarming amount of comments from you guys saying that Manacled by senlinyu was your first Dramione fanfiction or the first fanfiction that you ever read, period. I do not know about the other Dramione readers out there, but to me, that's just uttermost bravery. Because starting your Dramione journey or your fanfiction journey in general with Manacled means that your standard was raised by a hell of a lot, and it means that you have some unhealed trauma coming into this video. So I took it to myself today to take care of you guys and to give you guys a guide to cure the worst hangover you have ever had after reading a piece of work. Usually you will see me appear on this channel with a phone, but today we're bringing out the laptop, and that means we are here for business. The story that I'm going to recommend to you guys in this video for today are the cream of the crop in the Dramione fandom. You do not have to worry about the quality of the ones that I will be recommending today, because I try to be on par with the quality of the story that just traumatized you. So please stay tuned until the end of the video, because every single work in this list is worth your time. So we are going to discuss 3 different care packages for you guys today after reading Manacled by senlinyu, and of course you can pick and choose whatever hangover cure that you like, or you can do all of them. But I promise by the end of today's video you are going to have a story that will get you out of that reading slump. Okay, so the first care package we have is the most common ones, is the best-selling one after reading Manacled by senlinyu, and that is to heal your pain with some fluffiness and some cheesy love stories. Of course, the number 1 option, the most well-liked, the most well-loved, the most well-recommended story after Manacled by senlinyu, we have Remain Nameless by Agent 19. This story unfolds when Draco unexpectedly runs into Hermione 9 years after the Battle of Hogwarts at a Muggle cafe. Of course, that synopsis does not do this story justice at all, because this is one of the stories that you just have to go out there and experience it for yourself, because there's no amount of word that can summarize this story for you. This story has one of the best, if not the best, Draco that I can ever find in Dramione fanfiction. The story is all about healing, second chances, new friendship with old faces, getting to really know people that you thought you have known for a long time. Even though this story is very domestic, it doesn't feel one-dimensional at all. It has the perfect balance of angst and fluff and spice to keep you satisfied in any way that you can think of. Overall, I would describe Remain Nameless by Agent 19 as a very well-rounded novel with very engaging details and plotline, with very lovable characters, and of course a to-die-for characterization between Draco and Hermione and their moments and their love that they share in this story is just amazing. I really have no complaint about this story at all, and I know that this story is really big. It's had more than 300,000 words, but to me none of the words are redundant at all, because I just devoured that story like a hungry child. To some people it may feel a little bit dragging, but to me that was just perfect. I do not have any complaint about the story at all. In fact, I wish that I had more. After that 300,000 words, I wish I had more. And if that doesn't say enough about Remain Nameless by Agent 19, I don't know what will. Moving on, we have the second story in this category. We have Apple Pies and Other Men Buy to Eat a Peach. So this story starts out with Hermione baking and delivering dessert to the entire wizarding world, to anyone that was involved in the war, no matter the side that they fought on. And of course, her last stop is Malfoy Manor. And we get to see how their story unfolds from that point on. We get to see how Draco and Hermione develop such a precious relationship. This story is just tooth-rotting fluff, literally and figuratively. Make sure that you have a full belly while reading this story, and make sure you don't read it at night, because you would definitely want a midnight snack while you read this story with all the dessert that are discussed in here. This story once again is all about healing and second chances as well, but the last story that we have in here is just so cheesy. It's so swoony, and it's almost make you feel like you are watching a Korean drama, if you know what I mean. We have an ensemble of supporting cast in here, but every single one of them is just so lovable. Not just Draco and Hermione, because those are top-notch already. I'm only talking about the supporting character. Everyone is just so full of color with flavor that it makes your reading experience super fun. This story is just a galore for someone like me who live for the moment between Draco and Hermione, because the details, the love that they share in this story is just top notch. It's chef kiss. It's just 3 Michelin star type of tier. This story is so cozy that it kind of makes you feel like you are wrapped in a blanket on a cold winter day, and that is like your safe haven that you never want to leave. That is the perfect way to describe Apple Pies and Other Men Buy to Eat a Peach, and of course it is exactly what you need after all the pain of Manacled. Next, we have Wolf and Stray by Kiyonomiko, and I put this story in here because I know that some of you guys will feel that you guys cannot read cheesy, tooth-rotting fluff anymore after you read Manacled by senlinyu because it's damaged you so much. This story will counteract that with a little bit of humor. We have an anime girl Draco in this story. This story opened up to us post-war 8 year at Hogwarts, where Draco needed an escape from Hogwarts without anyone knowing, so he has to transform himself into a ferret cousin and follow Hermione's home. But you already know it's not that simple because love is in the air and feelings are very easy to be caught. This story is also about healing and second chances, but the journey that Draco and Hermione share in this story is very realistic for two teenagers navigating through such a tremendous event that is the war in their life. This story, in my opinion, has the perfect characterization of Draco and Hermione. We have a very devoted Draco, but at the same time, he's very self-preserved and selfish when it comes to Hermione. And on the other hand, we have a very forgiving but also very strong-willed Hermione. And even though Hermione is my one true pairing, the Draco and Hermione in Wolf and Stray by Kiyonomiko give me the feeling that they are just made for each other, like they fit each other like a piece of puzzle, and the love that they share in here are just so pure that it makes me think about them for days after I finish reading this story. So in my opinion, Wolf and Stray by Kiyonomiko is just one of the perfect candidates after you read Manacled by senlinyu because of everything that it has: original plotline, unique detail, amazing detail between Draco and Hermione, and it's hilarious, and the writing is just chef kiss. This story, I feel like, is one of the stories where it won't fade no matter how long you have read it, and it was my first read of the year 2023, and I could not be happier to start the year with Wolf and Stray by Kiyonomiko. And the last story in the fluffy care package, we have Simply Irresistible by Bookworm 1993. You already know that I have to put this story in here. This is the dramione rom-com, and it is everything you need to fill all the holes in your heart after reading Manacled by senlinyu. In this story, Draco gives Hermione an entire makeover to revenge her ex Ron Weasley for cheating on her. This is a story about Draco and Hermione finding each other with a non-linear plotline. So throughout the story, you will see some moments in their past entwined with the present timeline, and it's not only that it makes the reading experience super fun, it also showcases to us the depth of Draco and Hermione relationship development as well. The Draco that we have in Simply Irresistible is one of the Draco that will live and die and do anything for Hermione Granger. My boy is just that pussy whip in this story. This story once again has an ensemble of supporting cast, and some of them are even original characters from the author, so kudos to Bookworm 1993 for building such a friend group. Every single one in Draco and Hermione friend group in this story is just so lovable. They're so full of color, so full of characteristics that I want to be a part of their friend group. And after I finish reading the story, I almost feel like I'm breaking up with my real friend in real life. To me, this story is just the perfect low-stake romance for you to read after being so on edge and so inflamed with Manacled by senlinyu. Moving on to the second care package of the day. In care package number 2, I want you guys to take your mind off Manacled by senlinyu with some adventures, some mystery, and of course 2 overpowered character, or as you call it, BAMF Dramione. You already know that I'm going to start this category out with Draco Malfoy and the Mortifying Ordeal of Being in Love by It Is Self-Care, and that was a mouthful, so I always call this story the Batmobile. This is the new it girl on the block. This is the newest cool kid on the block. This is a new fan favorite, and of course not without any reason, because everything about this story, the looks, the feel, everything is giving. In the story, we have a Hermione being Hermione. She's working on a groundbreaking course that has attracted her some attention, has attracted her some threat. And we also have a Draco being Draco in this story. The best aura in the whole DMLE department dispatched to be on her side and be her bodyguard. We love overpowered character of the week. This is just beyond me to summarize this story, so you just have to go out there and read it for yourself because I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough. This is beyond me to even review this story, okay? To sum it up for you guys, this story is perfect in any way that you can think of. The originality of the plot line, the writing, the characterization, the world building, the supporting cast, the love share between Draco and Hermione. Am I missing anything? Anything that you can name, it is perfect with capital letters. There are 6 words in the whole 200,000 words that say I love you, but you know would live and die for each other given the chance in this story. Just go ahead and read this story because I am not coherent enough to describe this story. And if you want to see my unhinged behavior for the Batmobile, I already have a reading vlog. My one and only reading vlog on this channel is dedicated to the Batmobile. The only one thought that I have whenever I think about the Batmobile is make it make sense. Why are we reading this story for free? The second story in the second care package, we have The Dragon's Bride by Rizzo, and this is to my OG dramatic reader out there because this story is 20 years old. It's almost as old as I am. If you have followed me on this channel, you will know that The Dragon's Bride by Rizzo is my #1 dramatic story, is my all-time favorite. And I don't think no matter how many stories I have read after, I don't think any story has come close to dethrone Dragon's Bride by Rizzo, because this is just one of the most original stories that I have had a chance to read in the whole dramatic fanfiction world. And the dynamic between Draco and Hermione, and between Draco, Hermione, and everyone else in this story is just, I cannot find that dynamic anywhere. I cannot find that love anywhere else. It's one of the stories that no matter how many times I read and reread it, and you know I reread it a ridiculous amount of time, an unhealthy amount of time. No matter how many times I read it, it's giving me the same happiness, giving me the same pain, giving me the same emotions all over again. It doesn't really matter how long I have read it. Every details in here are just so engraved in my heart that I will never truly can get The Dragon's Bride out of my head. I know that I said this throughout my video a lot already, but the love share between Draco and Hermione in here speaks the most. It speaks so loud for their love for each other without even saying anything at all. And if your love language is anything but the word, this story is just jackpot for you. Other than that, I don't think I'll make another comment about The Dragon's Bride by Rizzo, because this is just one of the stories that you have to read it. And after you finish reading the story, the feelings that you get from The Dragon's Bride by Rizzo cannot be replicated with any other story in this fandom. And I truly think that The Dragon's Bride by Rizzo is one of the stories that you have to read at least once if you are a dramatic fan. Next, we have a little bit of a lighter type of story, and that will be The Disappearances of Draco Malfoy by Speechwriter. And this story depicts a war where Draco has taken Dumbledore's offer atop the astronomy tower, and we get to see how the war would play out if Draco fight alongside the Order of Phoenix, and how, of course, Draco and Hermione would navigate through their relationship with the war looming in their background. And I stand by the general public opinion, the general public petition, to make this story the official 7 books in this Harry Potter series. And who am I to talk, because I haven't even read the book. This is the most in-character story that you can find. This is the closest story to canon that you can find. What I love about this story is the author has given us the chance to see how Draco and Hermione change as they open up to the other person, and for that reason I think that this story doesn't really place a heavy emphasis on the romance between Draco and Hermione, but rather we get to see how their love blooms as the plotline for this story develops. As the war progresses, we also see how Draco and Hermione progress with their relationship as well. And it is a wartime story, so it's not so much of a change for you after Manacled by senlinyu, but while Manacled is so dark and so painful, The Disappearances of Draco Malfoy is on a lighter note. So if you want to ease yourself out of Manacled by senlinyu, I think that this is also a perfect choice as well. Continue on that line of thought, we have the last story for this care package, and that is The Order of Serpent by BLCRTZ. Obviously, this is another wartime story, and we have a true Voldemort twin story here. We have Harry going into the Forbidden Forest and walk out there being a vessel for Voldemort. So the war obviously did not end there. The Order of Phoenix continued to fight, but 3.5 years later they receive a knock on their door, and that is Draco Malfoy showing up with his son Scorpius, asking to defect to the Order of Phoenix. So I would say that the Order of Serpent is the perfect middle ground between Manacled by senlinyu and The Disappearances of Draco Malfoy by Speechwriter. This is a real live wartime story here. It has graphic description of the war and of experiment on humans and babies. So if that is not your thing, please go ahead and read the tag before you continue on with this story. But at the same time, it's not as high stake as Manacled, where it makes you feel so inflamed all the time. This story, I will spoil it for you guys, has the most hard-fought happiness shared between Draco and Hermione. They went through so much together in here, and their love is like tested and proven with this story. And after I finished reading the story, I almost feel like I will cry on the spot because of how much relief I feel for Draco and Hermione in this story. And if you have a baby fever, right now, maybe avoid this story, because Scorpius will not be good for your ovary at all. Once again, you do not have to worry about the quality of this story. It has such an original plotline. Once again, unique detail, amazing supporting character. The world building is chef kiss, and the writing, everything else is just perfect. And of course, Draco and Hermione, I don't have any word for it. And you are not ready for some fluff yet, and you want to continue with the wartime streak, and you want to ease yourself out of Manacled a little bit softer, smoother, this story is going to be perfect for that. And lastly, we have the care package number 3 for this video, and I would be so bad not to let you guys indulge in the talent of senlinyu. Care package number 3, we have the senlinyu saga. I did my research. I know that senlinyu has published 52 dramione stories onto her AO3 account so far, so minus manacled, you will have 51 stories to base yourself in. Those are your pot of gold to heal yourself after the damage done by the same author. But of course, in this care package for today, I have already curated my favorite senlinyu story for you and the ones I think will heal you the most after manacled. And of course, to start, we have the senlinyu and dramione collaboration collection. This collection has 14 works with fan arts, and these fan arts are the very famous dramione fan arts that you will see all over the internet. So not only these stories will heal your heart, it will also satisfy your eye as well. These stories are very small. They will only probably take you 15 minutes to read, so I would recommend reading one of them each morning, and hopefully after 14 days you have cured your manacled hangover. Next, we have a hot topic here, and if you want to heal yourself with some spices and some lemon, and that is all you want by senlinyu, this is a ABO story, and I don't really have to go into detail because this is just a PWP story. It will just satisfy you throughout, and hopefully by the end you will see dramione in a different light than the war. Next, another story of spices and lemon. We have the Library of Alexandria. This story though has a little bit different characterization of Draco and Hermione, so if you want to start something a little bit different but you know you don't want to stray away from senlinyu, this is going to be a perfect option. This is a short story. It will not take much of your time, but you will probably remember it for a long time afterwards. Next, we have Love and Other Misfortunes. Well, this to me reminds me so much of manacled. They are just so stubborn in here, and if you love some morally gray characters, this is gonna be perfect for you. If you love manacled, you probably love other work by senlinyu as well, so it goes without saying that the qualities of the in here are, you know, immaculate. And next to last in this care package, we have a two-shot that is a slow, cruel, decent, and fragile essence. I think that's how you pronounce this word by senlinyu. This story reminds me so much of manacled because we have a dead eater Draco in here and also a captive Hermione. So if that is your thing and you want to start on familiar ground, this story is also perfect for you. You will probably have your heart broken once again with this story, but if that's what you are looking for right now and you want to prolong the pain with senlinyu, this story is going to be perfect. And last in the list, we have Let the Dark In, also by senlinyu. This is her latest work in progress. I have not had a chance to read this story yet because I avoid work in progress or WIP or WIP at all costs. I find that I'm not patient enough to start reading a work in progress, but if WIP is your thing and you want to have something to look forward to every now and then, story gonna be perfect for you. I have heard many great things about this story, so I feel like you're not gonna be disappointed. And so that is the end of the story. I know that I probably favor manacled by senlinyu a little bit too much on this channel, but like I say, it's the most well-loved, the most well-known, the most well-recommended, the most well-recognized fan fiction, dramione fan fiction. I think it deserves an entire video on itself on my channel. And I hope that I have helped you guys land the next read, and I hope that I have eased the pain of manacled a little bit. And I hope that you guys have a good time hanging out with me today. And of course, I will see you guys in the next